Okay, now let us get into capital budgeting techniques. Last class we have discussed what are the various techniques we have. Now first let us start with something called as payback period. Payback period. Okay, so there is something called as payback period. What is the meaning of payback period? Payback. How much amount you invest in a business, within what period you will get that money back. That's what is something called as payback. So here pay refers to something called as the investment. So whenever we are speaking about investment, what sort of investment? It is something called as the initial investment. So when we use the word initial investment, what is the meaning of that? This is something called as the initial cash outflow. Whatever money which we put, that in what period you will be recovering. So it's nothing but payback period is nothing but the duration, the duration in which the duration in which your initial investment is recovered. So whatever investment you are putting, that in what period you are going to recover, that period is something called as the payback period. So ultimately, from decision point of view, say I want to take a decision. What is from my point of view? Whatever money which I put, I want to recover that first. So here, whenever you are trying to evaluate two projects, whenever you are trying to evaluate two proposals, my point of view is what? Always I need to select the project having a low payback period. So I should have recover the money quickly. So decision making, select project. What project? Select project with less payback period. So I need to select the project which is having a less payback period, means what my amount will be recovered quickly. So that's what is the objective behind your payback period. Now let us try to understand how do we calculate the payback period. So generally there are two different things here. Payback period, how do we calculate? So basically there are two different scenarios exist here. The first one is what? Regular even cash flows. Even cash flows is the first one. Second one is something uneven cash flows. Okay, the first one is something called as even cash flows. The second one is something called as uneven cash flow. That's what is something called as our payback period. Now, what is the meaning of even cash flows? Year 1 cash flows is same. Year 2 cash flows remains the same. Like that, how many years you do, all the years your cash flows is same. That's what is something called as per even cash flows. Now let me take an example here. Say suppose cost of asset. Let us consider the cost of the asset is 10 lakhs. Okay, you want to purchase an asset for 10 lakhs. Once this asset is purchased, what will be happening? You will be getting some sort of cash inflow. So now let us consider in the even cash flows. What I said, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. All the years, my cash flow remains the same. Year 1, my revenue is 2 lakhs. Year 2, also it is 2 lakhs. Year 3, also 2 lakhs. Like that, whatever year you business do, all the years your cash flows is uniform. Then I can call this as what? Uniform cash flows. So the first case, all the years your cash flows remain the same. We will call this as your uniform cash flows. So in this case, in the first scenario, how do you determine your payback? It's very simple in this case. So as all the years it is uniform, you can easily calculate something called as your payback. So what generally we'll do, cost of asset divided by, so what I will do, I will divide the cost of the asset with my cash inflow. That will give you a payback. So here, what is the cost of the asset? So what is the payback here? 10 lakhs is the cost of the asset. Every year, my cash flows are uniform 2 lakhs. First year, I had incurred 2 lakhs. I had recovered 2 lakhs in the first year. Second year, I had recovered another 2 lakhs. That means total how much you had recovered? 4 lakhs has been recovered by the end of second year. Third year, you are again recovering 3 lakhs. So total 6 lakhs has been recovered by the end of third year. Fourth year, what happened? 2 lakhs. 8 lakhs is recovered. Fifth year, another 2 lakhs. So total 10 lakhs you are recovering by 5 years. So payback period for this project is what? 5 years is the payback period. This is the method of calculation when the cash flows are even. See, when the cash flows are even, it's very simple. Take your cost of the asset, divide the cost of asset with something called as the cash inflow. Cost of the asset divided by cash inflow is going to give you payback period. So cost of the asset divided by cash inflows. Now, in the case of uneven cash flow, generally, practically, this scenario won't happen because once you do the business, all the years, my revenue is not same. 1 year I may be having huge revenue, second year I may be having less revenue. So practically speaking, even cash flows will not be there. You will be always having something called as uneven cash flow. So in this sort of circumstances, how do we calculate? Let us see. Uneven cash flow. So whenever you have something called as uneven cash flows, how do we calculate it? Let us see. So let me take an example. Cost of asset. Let us take the cost of asset remains the same to be 10 lakhs. So the cost of asset is what? 10 lakhs is going to be the cost of the asset. Now, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let us consider 6 years. The life of the asset is 6 or 7 rather. So you are having a cash inflows for the 7 years. Now let us consider first year your revenue is 2 lakhs. Second year your revenue was what? 2 lakhs 50,000. Third year your revenue was 1 lakh 50. Fourth year your revenue was something 3 lakhs. Fifth year your revenue is going to be, let us consider 2 lakhs 50,000. Sixth year, let us consider it to be 1 lakh 50,000. And finally, the last year, let us consider the revenue to be 1 lakh. So this is something called as uneven cash flow. All the years your cash flows are not uniform, then we'll call this case as what? Uneven cash flows. So in this case of uneven cash flows, there are 2 methods. I will explain both the methods. Whichever method you feel comfortable, that method you can adopt. Now, I need to determine. What I need to determine? Determine pay back. So determine payback period for this scenario. Now, let us try to calculate the payback. Let us see how we can calculate. Year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7. So these are the 7 years we are having. Now, let us take cash flows here. Initially, year 0, what you are doing? You are incurring 10 lakhs rupees as your expenditure. So it's nothing but my expenditure. That's the reason I am putting that in the negative flow. Year 1, it is already mentioned there that my revenue is going to be 2 lakhs for this period. Year 2, my revenue is going to be 2 lakhs 50,000. Year 3, 1 lakh 50,000. Year 4, that is going to be 3 lakhs 2 lakh 50,000. So the next year, that is going to be what? 2 lakhs 50,000. So year 5, 2 lakhs 50,000. Year 6, that is going to be 1 lakh 50,000. Year 7, that is going to be 1 lakh. Okay, that's what is the cash inflows, which is already mentioned there that we have taken. Now, what I need to do, 10 lakhs was my income. What I had done recovered 2 lakhs. So ultimately, what is the balance left of minus 10 lakhs plus 2 lakhs? The balance to be recovered by the end of first year is what? 8 lakhs. So how you are getting 8 lakhs there? Minus 10 lakhs plus 2 lakhs you are doing. So ultimately of the 10 lakhs, 2 lakhs is recovered. Still you need to recover 8 lakhs. Then this 8 lakhs is in negative figure because minus 10 lakhs plus 2 lakhs, that gives you minus 8 lakhs. Then what happens? Minus 8 lakhs plus 2 lakh 50,000. So minus 8 lakhs plus 2 lakh 50,000, that is going to give you 5 lakhs 50,000. That means out of 10 lakhs, you have recovered what? 4 lakh 50. Now, minus 5 lakh 50,000 plus next year 1 lakh 50,000, that gives me what? 4 lakhs. So still you need to recover rupees 4 lakhs. Then what happens? Of the 4 lakhs, 3 lakhs is recovered. So you are recovering 3 lakhs by the end of 4th year. So ultimately what happens here? 4 lakhs minus 4 plus 3, that gives you something called as minus 1 lakh. Okay, this gives you minus 1 lakhs. Again, what you have done, of 10 lakhs, all this total 2 lakhs plus 2 lakh 50,000, that gives you 4 lakh 50. 4 lakh 50 plus 1 lakh 50, that gives you 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs plus 3 lakhs, that gives you 9 lakhs. So of 10 lakhs you had recovered 9 lakhs. That means by the end of 4th year, still you are supposed to recover what? 1 lakh. So again, 10 lakhs is the total cash outflow. Of the total you had recovered 9 lakhs. That means still you are supposed to recover 1 lakh. When you are going to recover that 1 lakh? That 1 lakh you are going to recover in the 5th year. So the 1 lakh will be recovered in the 5th year. That's it. So here you will be recovering the balance of 1 lakh. Now that means what? Payback period is 4 years plus 5th year. What you are doing? You are recovering this 1 lakh, and along with this you are recovering some excess amount. So what you have done there? Total 1 lakh minus 1 lakh plus 2 lakh 50,000, that is going to give you 1 lakh 50,000. That means you had recovered that amount in the 5th year. That may be in any months in the 5th year. So ultimately, by the end of 4th year, 9 lakhs is recovered, and you are earning a cash inflow of what? 2 lakh 50,000 in which year? In 5th year. Now that means what? This 1 lakh is out of the cash flows of the 5th year. Now, in 365 days, if you earn 2 lakh 50,000 as the cash flow, in how many days you are going to recover 1 lakh? That gives you what? 4 years plus corresponding days in the 5th year. So my payback period is what? Complete 4 years. 4 years is done. And a part of days or part of months in the 5th year. So logically, what we are trying to do, we are trying to say that in 365 days, or if you want to calculate the payback period in months, in 12 months, you are earning a revenue of what? 2 lakhs 50,000. In 12 months, you are earning a revenue of 2 lakh 50,000. In how many months you will be earning 1 lakh? Because my payback period is what? Recovery of the 10 lakhs. Already 9 lakhs is recovered. So this 1 lakh is out of this 2 lakh 50,000. So ultimately, in how many months I am going to recover this? This gives me the payback period in the terms of months. That means what we are trying to do, 1 lakh into 12 divided by 2 lakh 50,000. That means what we are trying to do here, 1 lakh divided by 2 lakhs 50,000. So what is 2 lakhs 50,000? 2 lakhs 50,000 is nothing but cash flow of the 5th year. So cash flow of the 5th year is 2 lakh 50. What is this 1 lakh? This 1 lakh is nothing but balance to be recovered. So balance to be recovered is 1 lakh. This 1 lakh is recovered out of 2,50,000. That is the reason what we are doing. In 12 months you are getting 2,50,000. This 1 lakh will be recording how many months? So ultimately into 12 if I do, I'll be getting my payback period in months. So 1 lakh divided by 2,50,000 gives you 0.4 into 12, that gives you 4.8. So what is the meaning of this? 4.8 months. 4.8 months. So my payback period is what? 4 years and 4.8 months, or it's not 48, it's 4.8, or you can just simply call that as 4.4 months. See, 1 lakh divided by 2,50,000 is going to give you 0.4. So directly, instead of converting that in months, you can directly represent as 4.4 years. So here my payback period is what? 4.4 years, or I can call 4 years and 4.8 months. That's what is something called as the payback period. So here you are directly taking that in year format, you are converting that fraction into months format, and you are taking this. What is the first method? Now let me put the same thing in second method. Or, so instead of calculating like this, there is other method where you can calculate. So when you are going to apply uneven cash flow, whenever you are having uneven cash flow, either the first method you can apply for calculating the payback, or second method. Now let us take your year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7. Now let us see what are the cash flows which are considered there. Same thing, let us consider here also. 2,50,000. First year the cash flow is 2 lakhs. Second year 2,50,000. Third year, what is third year? 1,50,000, 3 lakhs, 2,50,000. 1,50,000, 3 lakhs, 2,50,000. Okay. Then comes 1,50,000, 1 lakh. 1,50,000, and here comes 1 lakh. So in the second method, this is nothing but what? What is this column called as? Cash flow. In the second method, I will be adding something called as cumulative cash flow. What is this? Cumulative cash flow. What is the meaning of cumulative? I will be keep on adding. First year, my cash flow was 2 lakhs. Second year, my cash flow is 2,50,000. That means what is the cumulative? 4,50,000. 4,50,000 plus 1,50,000. That means this becomes what? 6 lakhs. Then what? 6 lakhs plus the next year 3 lakhs. So that becomes 9 lakhs. Then what? 9 lakhs plus 2,50,000, that gives you what? 11 lakhs 50,000. 11 lakh 50 plus 1 lakh 50, that gives you what? 13 lakhs. Then 13 plus 1 lakh, that gives you 40 lakhs. That's what is the first column which I need to add something called as cumulative cash flow. Now, logic remains the same. By the, what is your cash outflow? Cash outflow is going to be 10 lakhs. Of 10 lakhs, you had recovered how much? 9 lakhs. So here, if I try to calculate my payback, so payback period, what will happen? 4 years plus, because already I had recovered 9 lakhs. 9 lakhs is recovered. So ultimately, the balance 1 lakh, from where I will recover? From the 5th year. So balance 1 lakh you are going to recover from the 5th year. So ultimately, what you will do? 1 lakh. So which is nothing but I can write it like this: balance to be recovered divided by cash flow of the year. So what is the cash flow of the year? 2,50,000. Ultimately, your payback period is what? 4.4 years or you can call that as 4 years and 4.8 months. So if we go back and see here, this method should be easy for you because wherever the negative is turning out into positive, okay, here minus 1 lakh turned out into positive. That means your payback period is 4 years plus a few months of 50 year. Whereas if you take this, if you go to the second method, okay, if you go to the second method, there you need to compare 10 lakhs you had recovered excess. So what? Fourth year plus a part of this. But whereas if you go to the first method, wherever it is turning out into positive, that previous year plus inflow of the year where that turned out into positive. So that becomes easy for you to calculate. Whatever it is, whether it is a first method which is you feel convenient, you can do the same thing, or you can adopt the second method. Both will give the same thing, same values. Okay. Now let us try to look into one small case there we can understand the complete application of payback. Then we'll discuss on something called as what discounted payback method. Now let me take one example here. So you are having two projects. Project A is one thing. Project B is some other thing. Project A as well as project B. So two projects you are having, project A as well as project B. Now let us see. Cash outflow. You are having a cash outflow and you have been provided cash inflow. Okay, these are the informations which are given. Now, okay, cash inflows has been provided for 5 years. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4 as well as year 5. These are the informations which are given to us. Now, first let us take the details of project A. Oh, sorry, this is not project A, this is project B. Let me change this. Okay. Project A is one thing, project B is the other thing. Now first let us take the details of your project A, then we will see and discuss the details of your project B. Now cash outflow. It is given that the project A, you need to incur your initial cash outflow amounting to 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs is going to be your initial cash outflow. And it is mentioned there that your cash inflow for the first year is going to be 1 lakh. 1 lakh is your cash inflow. Then let us take 1,50,000 to be your cash inflow for the second year. Third year, let us consider 1,80,000 to be your cash inflow. 2 lakhs is to be your cash inflow. 1,70,000 being your cash inflow. So these are the cash inflows which are given for the project B. Now, he is also being provided you with one information which is called as the salvage value. What is the meaning of salvage value? Whatever asset you are having, that asset if I sell at the end of the life, I will be getting something. So that's what is something called as the salvage value. Let us consider the salvage value is going to be 50,000. When you will receive, this will be received at the end of 50 year. And what we'll call this as? This will be called as your terminal cash flow. So this will be called as what terminal cash flow. That's what is the information provided for project A. Now let us see what are the informations which are provided for your project B. Project B, it is mentioned that your cash outflow is going to be 5 lakhs. 80,000 is my cash outflow. Your inflows are what? 2 lakhs is your cash inflow. 2 lakhs 10,000 is your second year's cash flow. 1 lakh 80,000, and here comes 1 lakh 70,000, and here comes it is 40,000, and here comes it is 60,000. So that's what is the cash inflows which are given. Now, what is your ultimate objective? So what the problem is asking about? Advice. You need to advise what? whether the company should take and do project A or whether the company should do project B. You are need to give an advice to the company. So that advice is something which has to be given to the management. Now project A or project B. So these are the two things which you need to focus. Now for calculation of this, what is required? I need to determine something called as payback period. Now I need to calculate the payback period for this given information. Now let us go and do the problem. Okay. Solution. Determination of payback period. So determination of payback period for project A. First, let us do for project A. Then we'll prepare another set of statement and we'll do for project B. Now, that's what is the given thing. Now, what is required for us? We need to have something which is nothing but your year is one column which I need to have. Cash flow is the other column which we need to have. And recovery or cumulative cash flow. So these are the three columns which are required. Now, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Okay. What is the cash inflow? Project A is going to give you 1 lakh, 1,50,000, 1,80,000, 2 lakhs, fifth one 1,70,000. That's what is nothing but your cash. Now recovery. How much amount I have to recover? What is my cash outflow? The cash outflow is going to be 5 lakhs. I need to recover 5 lakhs. Now what we have done? Recovered 1 lakh in the first year. That means by the end of first year, my recovery is what? 4 lakhs is my recovery. By the end of second year of 4 lakhs, how much I had recovered? 1,50,000 I had recovered. That means still I need to recover an amount of what? 2,50,000 is the amount which I should recover. Clear again? Total amount is going to be 5 lakhs. Of the 5 lakhs by the end of first year and by the end of second year, total you had recovered 2,50,000. So that means 5 lakhs minus 2,50,000, still there is a recovery of 2,50,000. Now third year what you have done? You need to recover 2,50,000. You had recovered 1,80,000. So that means there is still a recovery of what? 70,000 is the amount of recovery you still have there. Now 70,000 is the amount you need to recover. Then what happens? In the fourth year, you had recovered 2 lakhs. So ultimately you had recovered entire amount. Okay, that means what? You had recovered an excess amount in the fourth year. 70,000 you should recover. You had recovered 2 lakhs. That means you had recovered 1,30,000 extra. So your payback period is what? Now if I want to determine the payback period, my payback period is nothing but 3 years plus. So my payback period is always going to be 3 years plus something. 3 years plus what? 3 years plus, which is nothing but what? 3 years plus a part of the fourth year. Part of the fourth year. How I need to calculate? Balance of the money to be recovered. What is the balance of money to be recovered? Balance, see, it's very simple. Wherever it is turning out into positive, what you will do? This divided by this. That's it. So here 70,000 divided by what? 2 lakhs. Balance of money to be recovered and the cash flow of the next year in which you are going to recover. So ultimately this gives me my payback period. Let us see. 70,000 divided by 2 lakhs gives you 0.35. So 3.35 years is nothing but your payback. Or if you multiply this into 12, that gives me 4.2. 3.3 years, or payback period is what? 3 years and 4.2 months. That's what is something called as the payback period for project A. Now we need to go and try to do for project B. Let us see. Okay, payback period for project B. Let us try to do the same thing for project B. Now, what is required? Year, cash flow, recovery. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So total is given as what? 5 years is the totals which is given there. Now, let us try to see. Cash flows, what is mentioned? Year 1, the cash flows is 2 lakhs. Year 2, the cash flows is 2,10,000. Year 3, the cash flow is 1 lakh. 80,000 is the cash flow for the year 3. 1,70,000 is the cash flow for year 4. Okay, 40,000 is the cash flow for year 5. Okay, year 5 the cash flow is 40,000. Let us check it once again there. Yeah, 2 lakhs, 2,10,000, 1,80,000, 1,70,000 and 40, and we should also consider the salvage value. Okay, here year 5 you are also having the salvage value. What is the salvage value? You have 50,000 here, 60,000 so here. So here you are recovering 50,000, and here you are recovering the last year. I should also consider something called as 60,000. This is nothing but your salvage value, which will be called as your terminal value. Now, if I consider year 0, what is my cash outflow? My cash outflow is 5,80,000. That means my ultimate objective is to recover 5,80,000. Now let us see what is your recovery. My recovery is what? 2 lakhs I had recovered by the end of first year. That means after the end of first year, I need to recover an amount of 3,80,000. Of 3,80,000, second year, what you have done? 3,80,000 minus 2,10,000. We had recovered 2,10,000 there. That means still you need to recover 1,70,000. See again, 5,80,000 minus 2 lakhs, 3,80,000. Then 3,80,000 minus 2,10,000, 1,70,000. Then what happened? In third year, you had recovered what? 1,70,000 you are supposed to recover. You had recovered an excess amount of 1,80,000. So ultimately 10,000 is the surplus you got in third year. 10,000 is the surplus you got in third year. See, always what I will do, wherever I am getting a positive, I need to consider my payback period as that above year. So I am considering my payback period as what? 2 years plus. What 2 years plus? So now I need to recover how much? 1,70,000. So balance to be recovered is nothing but 1,70,000. From which cash flow I am going to recover? This I am going to recover from 1,80,000. So 1,70,000 divided by 1,80,000 gives you the payback period. So ultimately 1,70,000 plus 1,80,000 is going to give you something called as 0.94. So ultimately, what is my payback period? 2.94 years. 2.94 years is going to be something called as my payback period. So project A, the payback period is what? 3 years, 3.35. So 3.35 years is the payback period. Now I need to give a decision. So decision based on payback. So now let us build up a table here. Payback. Once. So decision. So what we'll do, let us take 2 columns there, 3 columns rather. Project, payback, period. Okay, 2 columns. Project A, project B. Project B, the payback period is 2.94 years. Project A, the payback period is 3.35 years. So 3.35 years. So generally here what we have discussed, whichever project is having the lesser payback period. See, if you go back to the point where we have discussed one point that whichever project is having a lesser payback period. So whichever project is having a lesser payback period, that project is supposed to be accepted. So here what I need to do, I need to advise. So which project A, I will recover the money in 3.35 years, whereas project B, I will recover the money in 2.94 years. So ultimately my decision is what? My decision is nothing but go and accept start project B as it is having a lesser payback. So you are having something called as a lesser payback period. So ultimately you should go and accept something called as project B. That's what is your payback period. Now let us try to understand advantages of your payback. Advantage of your payback period. So what are the advantages of applying payback period? What are the disadvantages of applying payback period? So advantage, if I see, easy to compute. Payback period is something which is very easy to compute. That's what is one of the biggest advantage. Second thing is nothing but it gives you quick estimate. What estimate? Quick estimate of recovery. See, it gives you a quick estimate of recovery. In how many years I am going to recover my investment? If I put 5 lakh 80, I will be recovering my money in 2.94. That's nothing but your quick estimate of your recovery. So these are the two advantages you are having of the payback period. Now, what are the disadvantages? The disadvantage, if you remember in our previous video, I had discussed that computation of capital budgeting techniques are generally into two, without considering time value of money, considering time value of money. So there we have discussed that payback period does not consider the time value of money. So here that's what is something called as a disadvantage. So what is a disadvantage? This ignores, what it ignores, something called as what? Time value of money. So payback period is going to ignore something called as what? Time value of money. So that's what is something called as the one disadvantage. Second disadvantage, there may be a projects which give the benefits in the long term, but here what we are doing, we are focusing only on the short term. So you are ignoring the projects which is giving you long-term benefits. So here the disadvantage is what? Ignoring projects, project with long payback period. You are simply ignoring the projects with long payback period. That's what is one biggest disadvantage of this method. So that's what is something called as the payback period. Now let us go to the other one, which is something called as the discounted payback period. Discounted payback period is the other one. Everything remains the same. Everything remains the same. Here what you are doing, you are considering, you are not ignoring, you are considering the time value of money. So you are simply considering the time value of money and you are trying to determine that. That's it. What we do? The earlier problem, the same. Project A, project B, the problem, the same problem now we'll try to solve based upon the discounted payback period. So now let us come back here. So now let us consider here year. So I am doing for project A. See here what I am doing for the same problem. I am trying to consider the discounted payback period for project A on the same basis you try to do for project B. Discounted computation of discounted payback period for project A. Okay, so let us do this for project A. So based upon this, you try to do for project B. Now, here cash flow. First, let us take this both. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Okay. Now, what are the cash flows given? The cash flows given for the year 1, 1 lakh. Year 2, 1 lakh, 50,000, 1 lakh 80, 2 lakhs, 1 lakh 70,000, and the problem also gives you the terminal value or salvage value, which is nothing but 50,000 in the present case. Now, as this is a discounted payback period, we are considering the time value. I will be having something called as discount factor. I need to take something called as the discount factor. Let us consider your discount factor to be 15%. Now I need to arrive at the discounted value for all the years. So how do we calculate that? Say discount factors. How do we calculate? Let us try to understand. Take the percentage. What is the percentage? 15. So the percentage is what? 15. So what we are trying to do? We are trying to take what? 1 divided by 1 plus percentage. Now 1 divided by, what is the percentage? 15. So what we'll do? 1 divided by 1 plus 0.15, that gives you 1.15. So what we'll do? Take your calculator. 1 divided by 1.15, you plus equal. For the first year, you will be getting the factor as 0.869. See, always the discount factor, it is advisable to take 3 decimals or 4 decimals. So the first year is what? 1. Take it, you have taken your calculator. There you have taken 1 divided by 1.15, and you have pressed equal to for one time. You will be getting the discount factor for the second year. First year. Second year, you need not do anything. Again, just simply press equal. You will be getting something called as 0.756. Third year, you are not doing anything. Again, you will press simply equal. That will give you something called as 0.657. Fourth year, again equal. 0.571. Again equal. 0.497. Fifth year, okay. This remains the same because fifth year only you are also getting this cash flow. So here also you are getting something called as 0.497. That's what is the cash flows. Now, what I need to do? I need to add one more column here, which is nothing but something called as present value of cash inflow. What we'll call this as? Present value of cash inflow. If I call this as column number 1, okay, let me put it here. If I call this as your column number 1, column number 2, column number 3, and this as column number 4. What we are trying to do there? We are trying to multiply column 2 with column 3. So column 2 will be multiplied with column 3. That means 1 lakh into 0.869. That is going to give you 86,900. Now let us do for the next year. 1,50,000 into 0.756. 1,13,400. 1,80,000 into 0.657. 1,80,000 into 0.657. That is going to give you 1,18,260. 1,18,260. 2 lakhs into 0.571. 2 lakhs into 0.571 is going to give you 1 lakh 14,200. Then what? 1 lakh 70,000 into 0.497, that is going to give you 84,490. Then what? 50,000 into 0.497, 50,000 into 0.497, that is going to give you 24,850. That's what gives you present value of cash inflow. Now what we need to do, now the things remains the same. Add the column called as recovery, or you do cumulated cash flow. Now year 0, what is my initial cash outflow? My initial cash outflow for project A is 5 lakhs. Means what? I should recover 5 lakhs. Of this, by considering the time value, I had recovered what? 86,900. So 86,900, if I remove, I should recover what? My recovery is going to be 14 lakhs, 13,100 is nothing but my recovery. Second year, I had recovered 1,13,400 is recovered. That means 4,13,100. From that you had recovered plus 1,18,260 means what? You need to recover still 2,94,840. You need to recover 2,94,840 is the amount which you should recover. Now in the third year, you had recovered 1,18,260. That means what? 2,94,840 minus 2,94,840 plus 1,18,260. This gives you something called as 1,76,580. This is going to give you 1,76,580. Now, fourth year, you had recovered 1,14,200. So still, you are supposed to recover 62,380 rupees is the value. That means what? 1 lakh minus 1,76,580 plus 1,14,200. Still, there is an amount of recovery of what? 62,380. Then what you are doing? Fifth year, you had recovered this plus this. You had recovered in the fifth year. How much you had recovered? 84,490 plus 24,850. Total you had recovered. The total of these two is coming to 1,09,340 is the amount you had recovered. So means what? You are supposed to recover 62,380. You recovered 1,09,340. That means you had recovered what? An excess amount of 46,960. This is turning out into positive. So ultimately, the balance amount to be recovered. So the balance amount to be recovered is what? 62,380. So that 62,380 is recovered from the cash inflows of 1,09,340. So here, if I apply the payback period, so let me do it here. If I try to calculate your payback period for project 1, so what? Fourth year, apart from 62,380, everything is recovered. So ultimately, my payback period is what? 4 years plus. So my payback period is nothing but 4 years plus what? Balance of money to be recovered. So what is the balance of money to be recovered? 62,380 is the balance of money. This from where I am going to recover? This I am going to recover from the cash inflows of 1,09,340. So ultimately, let us see what is your payback period. 62,380 plus 1,09,340. If you 62,380 divided by 1,09,340, that is going to give you 0.57. So you are getting something called as 0.57. So ultimately, what is your payback period? 4 years plus 0.57 years. So ultimately, 4.57 years is nothing but your payback. So payback period is going to be 4.57 years. So that's what is the payback period for the project A. In the same manner, you try to do for project B. Clear? So that's the way you calculate your payback period and discounted payback period. So just take it down so that there will understand the other methods for the same problem. For the same problem, I will discuss how do we calculate something called as your net present value, so that you can try to do the calculation of your NPV for the project B as well. Clear? So just quickly take it down. So the next part will try to calculate the NPV. Then we'll move on to something called as IRR for the same problem. For the same problem, I'm trying to apply all the different methods. Okay.